Man, what really stood out to me from your highlight video was just your finishing, especially that first half of your clips, just being physical, being violent, being a former offensive coordinator. That's what I love, seeing those offensive line guys just finish through the whistle, laying on top of guys and everything else. Okay, now my suggestions for your highlight video are the following. Okay, the first thing is your information slide at the beginning. Okay, we want to do that a little bit differently, and the best way to go about doing this is to go on Canva. All right, and this is free. You'll go on there, you'll go to one of their slides, and on that slide, you're going to put the information of your name, school, graduation year, position, height and weight, X account, email, and phone number. Okay, put all that information. All right, on the left, put a picture of you on the right, download that, and then upload that to the very first thing on your highlight video. And then the one you've already got on there, you can take that off. Okay, so now, boom, when a coach pulls up your film, all the information he needs is right there. Okay, because a college coach's time is so short and valuable, we want to make that as easily accessible to him as possible. Okay, that way, boom, as soon as he pulls contact with you and follow you on X, how he can send you a questionnaire, how he can get in contact with you via phone number. Okay, so that all that stuff is important for them. That's going to really help you out rather than hinder you. Okay. Next, we want to remove captions. Okay. And then remove the music in the background. All right. And then also the background sound also, because we don't want to have anything that's going to distract that college recruiter from evaluating your film. All right. He's watching 60 to 100 kids in a day. Okay, this kind of comes into his time standpoint. 60 to 100 kids in a day, and they get in a zone evaluating kids. Okay, and we don't want to have the sound or the captions or anything like that really change how he evaluates you. Okay. Now, to give you an example of what I mean by these captions, okay, because you've got quite a few on here, and it's mainly just the spot shadows of right here where it just says wait for it, okay? So if you just change that spot shadow, all right, to a circle, okay, or an arrow or something like that that doesn't have the words or something around it, that's really, you can just change that, and that's really going to help you out there, okay? So, like I said, just change that side of it. You've got quite a few on there, okay? Change those up. That'll help out, and remove that music and background sound. That'll help out also, okay? Now, going to the sequence of plays, all right? And this is kind of how the film is going to flow, all right? This is really the big side of it, of how we want to do this. Now, we want to put all your run blocking clips first, okay? And then all your pass blocking clips second. So, when an offensive line coach watches your film, boom, he can watch that, watch it all the way through. Okay, maybe the next day he comes back in the office. Hey, I want to watch the film again. Okay, boom. But I just want to watch the run blocking. He can watch it, boom, right there. All right, and maybe the next day he want to look at just pass blocking. He can go to there. But within these sections that we've got with the run blocking and the pass blocking, we want to put our best clips first and then taper from there. Okay, so for you, I believe you need to start out at the 14-second mark here. Okay, so your second play that you've got on here, and I'll kind of explain why on these. All right, so how you did it, you can't really see it. So boom, as soon as you get open and you're turning and running, okay, for this kick out block, great job there with that circle, okay, but just the physicality, boom, and then driving this guy, the defender, back, okay, driving him back for your guys as you got counter going on here, all right, driving that back, opening up that hole, okay, that's a great, fantastic job there. You're letting him read his shoulders, okay, you took him where he wanted to go, tackle followed you, running back needs to follow up in there, all right, fantastic job there. Next, we want to go to the 51-second mark here, okay, so the reason I like this one, okay, boom, we're driving, and just pile driving that guy into the ground. Okay, that's what they're wanting to see, the physicality and the violence. But now we'll come back to the 7-second mark here. Okay, and the reason I can kind of see is kind of how more you kind of stand up just a little bit here, more than firing out, and your feet kind of stop a little bit right there, and we kind of go sideways. Okay, but now we're getting to the finish side of it. Okay, still driving that guy back. Okay, so they're seeing you move a little bit, seeing you what you're doing with guys right in front of your face, and being able to drive. So we're kind of giving a good representation of everything they're really needing to see here. Okay, so those are the three I'd start with for your run blocking, and you got the other ones on there. Remember, more physical and violent, make sure your technique's right, not really standing and stuff like that. That's what we're wanting to show off first. Then when we get to your pass blocking side, okay, so we go to the 24-second mark here, boom, technique, kick and pass pro, finishing the job, boom, right there. Fantastic job there. Okay, then we'll go to the 113 mark, okay, the 113 mark here, your second pass pro you've got on here, okay, like I said, change those captions, okay, add that, change that spot shadow up, boom, great job, getting that guy on the ground, he wants to go low on you, put him in the dirt, okay, so add that information slide, okay, that's going to be very, very beneficial, okay, remove those captions that we talked about, all right, remove the music and background sound, okay, and then change up the sequence on things. We want to put our best plays first, okay, capture that coach's attention early and keep them watching, all right, so run blocking, then your pass blocking, and doing this stuff is overall going to provide a more dynamic highlight video for college coaches. Okay. Now, after going over the game film feedback, let's take a look at what divisions you should target. Okay. I'm basing this off the most recent highlight video, which is exactly what college coaches are going to do and where the athlete can receive a scholarship right now. Okay. I want you to understand it. This is a current evaluation opposed to a projected evaluation. Okay. Now, with that being said, there's a few criteria for it. First thing is the graduation year. You're up now, okay? They're looking at you guys hard on 2027, so we need to make sure, we'll kind of talk about things we need to do and making sure how we're attacking this, okay? But for an offensive lineman, then they're going to look at your size, they're going to look at your foot speed, they're really going to look at your flexibility, okay? Where does he bend at and everything else, and then they're going to look at your power and your strength, okay? And with that being said, the levels you should look at today for the scholarship are NAI and low to mid Division 2. Okay. Now, you should start getting interest and offers from these college coaches at these levels. And if not, you need to start the communication process with these coaches through emailing and calling them right away. Okay. Because sometimes if we're not attacking these levels, we might not be getting the attention we need. Okay. So we need to make sure we're attacking these levels here. All right. Um, you need to make sure you're marketing and branding yourself in the correct way. You also need to make sure you're starting to get your name out there through social media, following these coaches on X, okay, DMing these coaches. That's going to be huge, okay? Especially with the time that we're running at, we're kind of getting close where it's, okay, are we going to be out of time, not out of time, or in time, not out of time, okay? So we need to make sure we're attacking these levels right. But for you, what's really going to be big is these prospect camps, making sure we're going to the right ones, making sure we're going to the O-line, D-line camps, okay? But then also making sure we're not going to the ones that are necessarily the mega camps or there's a ton of different schools there because you're going to end up with 1,000 different kids. All right. And that's where we can sometimes get lost in the shuffle and not really get a true evaluation from a coach. All right. I remember when I would go to them, okay, as a coach, and there's that many kids there, it's really hard to get a true evaluation. But sometimes if you can go to these smaller schooled camps, all right, or not smaller schooled camps, but the smaller grouped camps, so maybe where there's a handful of schools or a one-on-one side of it, okay, that's really going to help that coach be able to, you can introduce yourself to that coach easier, you can develop a relationship easier, then they can see you more fine-tuned, watch the details more, watch your 10-yard split, watch your agility, watch how you fire off the ball, that type of stuff. Okay, so that's really going to help out because when you do all this, all right, then you send them that midseason highlight. Okay, they're going to have that relationship with you. Remember seeing that stuff through camp, and now they're going to know who they're watching in the film through the midseason highlight. Okay, but here's the deal: how can we also attack these levels to get better? Okay, my suggestion to improve your game that translates to college football and possibly a higher division are the following. The first thing is the strength and power. Okay. Doing this through hitting the weight room and that strength training. That's a lot of the summer or off summer stuff we got going on right now. Okay. Making sure we're adding good weight to your frame, especially as an offensive lineman. Okay. We don't want to just add just weight. We want to add the good weight through the muscle. Okay. Got squats, quick twitch stuff. That's going to be huge for you. Single leg stuff, right? Because you got to be able to explode at that stance. You're wanting to drive that offensive lineman back and not get a stalemated. Okay. We got to drive him back quick because he's wanting to drive you back. Okay. The big one for you is going to be your flexibility. Okay. It's going to come through your pre and post training stretching. All right. It's going to help improve your pad level in the run or the pass game. We kind of talked about that, how we're firing out, where we've been at. We've been at the hips, we've been at the knees. Okay. And I've seen some offensive line coaches watch how a kid gets up. Okay. Does he get up and does he have to push off his knee? Does he just stand straight up? Okay. That's what those coaches are looking at because that's going to tie in your flexibility. Okay. Now, with this, that's going to be part of that individual work. Okay. Because if you guys don't do this as a team with that training, you need to do this on your own. And here's the deal, too. This is going to help prevent injury because your best ability is your availability. If you're dinged up and nicked up, okay, that's going to hurt your chance of video, which is then going to hurt your chance of an offer. You're dinged up and nicked up in college, that's going to hurt your chance on the depth chart. Okay, so you got to make sure you're taking care of your body. Next is the foot speed. Okay, this is going to be huge. Dot drills, ladder drills, kick and pass, and post pass pro drills. Okay, the old school saying, the feet has got to be as quick as a hiccup. All right, that's really going to help us out with getting our open and run and be able to drive quick, chop, 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 be able to drive that guy back. All right, O-line technique development. Stance and footwork and hand accuracy is going to be huge, okay? You're going to work on these details all the time in college drills, all the time, okay? And if you've got a good development of them now, you keep working on the development of it, okay? That's going to help you on the depth chart later on when you get to college ball, okay? Because here's the deal. Offensive line coaches don't just watch team film, okay? The offensive line coaches watch individual film all the time, okay? I remember walking by the office. That offensive line coach would, half the time, he was very rarely out of his office because he's either A, watching team film, B, watching recruits, or B, watching indie film. Okay, those guys are very particular on the details. Every offensive line coach I've ever been around. Okay, so you got to make sure we're keeping a good development of them. But these improvements that we're talking about is what an offensive line coach is really going to look at. Okay, so double down. All right, do all these things, hit it hard, and if it translates to your video, this can help you level up your evaluation and possibly have an opportunity at that upper D2 level. But here's the deal. At the end of the day, everything's really going to come down to your individual work, your outreach as well as your marketing on social media, and that relationship building with college coaches, which is going to be big, being that you're your guys' time right now for your graduation classes right now. Okay, the relationships are going to be huge, which is why that next step is your athlete interview. Where you're going to get an interview with the coach and get coached on communication and your interviewing skills. All right, which is critical for those conversations you're getting ready to start having with those college coaches. So make sure you watch the video beforehand and be ready to go. If you have any questions, we'll be able to answer them at the end of the interview. Thank you. We'll be able to answer them at the end of the interview. Thank you.